If you had an appendix that exploded, or a kidney that was failing, or a valve in your heart needed replacing, doctors would pay attention to that. And so I was saying, this organ is failing. I need your help. I was actually experiencing pain for about 13 years before a doctor even mentioned the words endometriosis to me. I started experiencing pain a year before my first period at 14. I started having intense stomach pains, passing out. Doctors were misdiagnosing me with appendicitis, food poisoning, virus. And as my teen years progressed, my periods became more and more painful until it started to really disrupt my daily life and happen even when I wasn't menstruating. And when I was 27 was the first time that a doctor mentioned to me that endometriosis might be a factor. I really believe that for so long, women's diseases, specifically diseases of the genitals, have been things that we don't want to discuss. Bleeding intensely, bloating, stomach pains, diarrhea. Like, there's a lot that comes along with endometriosis, which isn't stuff we want to talk about. Also, the idea that women are hysterical, experience pain in greater measure, are apt to make things up. That is all, like, all of that sort of sexist mythology is existing in doctors, even who don't maybe understand that they've internalized that. If you have doctors who you feel are downplaying what you're experiencing, you are allowed to push and ask for more. And if it doesn't work, you're allowed to move on. A doctor is there to help you feel better. And if they're explaining away your illness, they're not doing their job. What you have to do is go, my job when I go to the doctor is to tell the truth, and their job is to help me. Having endometriosis has had a really interesting effect on my relationship with my body. Pain does not inherently make you feel sexy. Pain doesn't make you feel beautiful. But in another way, it's forced me to really take ownership of my body and express my needs, because my pain, my discomfort, and the way I work, they really have to be made clear to other people. No, I don't want to wear jeans today at this photo shoot because it's going to hurt my stomach, which is swollen from, ovulatory pain, to no, I can't have sex in that position, to, no, I can't have children. Like, those are all conversations that I have throughout the day. And in a way, it's forced me to really navigate more honestly with other people and be more careful and honest with my body than I would have been otherwise. Because I've had, over 10 endometriosis surgeries, I do have scars all over my abdomen. They're little, but they're there. And at first, I would look down and I'd be frustrated by the imperfection. I mean, we spend all this time trying to even our skin tone, tan ourselves, get rid of cellulite. So a bunch of little puckered red scars across your stomach don't contribute to that. And also, scars tell a story of pain, which we don't always want to talk about. And when I actually really started to own them was when a friend of mine who's a tattoo artist, I was there getting some other tattoos, and she looked at them and she suggested, why don't we just put little stars over each one? And so actually now I have an abdomen that's just a constellation of stars going from my pubic bone to my belly button. And it has two uses. One, it makes me feel more beautiful. And two, when I go to the doctor and they say, where were your incisions when you had surgery? I just go, boop, and there's the map. It was really interesting when I had my hysterectomy because it was treated like a choice. What the doctor found confirmed that I didn't have a healthy uterus. I was never going to bear children. It wasn't serving its purpose in my body. The doctors didn't say it was medically necessary, but for me, it was medically necessary that I no longer be in crippling pain. And so I had to make a really hard choice, which was to say, no, I'm not willing to live this way anymore, and I'm going to ask you to remove my uterus and my fallopian tubes and my cervix. The first day without my uterus, even though I still had surgical pain, I could feel relief. The interesting thing about losing my uterus was that there was a tremendous amount of grief. I'd never had any doubt that I wanted to be a mother. I have certain friends who aren't sure. I was always sure. And I was excited about the experience of pregnancy, especially because I felt that endometriosis had really set me up to handle pain. So I was like, oh, I'm going to be good at that. I'm going to be great at having a baby. And the grief that came after was intense, and it came in waves. It came at fear of pregnant women. It came with revulsion at the idea of sex in pregnant bodies. It came with being obsessed with babies. It came with being obsessed with dogs. It came with not wanting to think about babies at all. And what I've come to is a place where I'm no longer relying on any male partner to make motherhood possible for me. I know that when I'm a mother, and I will be a mother, it's going to be a choice that I make for myself. In my early 20s, my self-confidence about how I looked, because I'm not, like a picture perfect woman on a classic billboard. I have a beautiful, but, not necessarily commercial body. I had a lot of self-loathing, and I was very likely to kiss someone just because they wanted to kiss me. And the thing that's really freeing is that I no longer have to approach dating, relationships with the opposite sex as if I think sometimes women who are in their late 20s into their 30s and feel their biological clock ticking are almost looking around for just like suitable donor who could also kind of be my boyfriend. And I just feel, and that's not everyone's dating pattern, but that was certainly mine. And the freedom that comes with knowing that I don't have to engage with anybody because I think, oh, look, I have to form a picture perfect standard family. I have a beautiful family that I've was born with and family that I've chosen. And I know that when I choose to be a mother, that they'll surround me in a really beautiful way. And so I'm free to date as I wish.